Today's topic is code switching versus code mixing. Hello everybody, welcome to Ask Tetsu, raising bilingual and multilingual children with you. So over the years I've been using the term code switching a lot to describe my kids, or any kids, speaking different languages or mixing different languages when they talk. And I recently found out that's actually not the right term. But first things first, what is code switching? There's a lot of definitions out there on the internet, but I think the common theme that it boils down to is a bilingual or multilingual person would be switching between his different languages when speaking to another person who also understands the languages that he or she is speaking. So for example, here in Quebec, the official languages here are French and English, and a typical conversation in Montreal could go something like, I could talk to my friend and go, "Hey Greg, let's go to the dépanneur au coin de Sherbrooke and Peel." So in that sentence, just very naturally we'd use terms such as dépanneur, which just feels right. Most Quebecers, even Anglophones, would use that term to describe convenience stores. But of course we wouldn't use that term when speaking to other people from outside of Quebec, or from the States or from other provinces. So that's really code switching in a nutshell. Just people switching around in different languages, speaking to another person who also speak these languages, and they understand each other and they're trying to extract the most value, I guess, so to speak, of the words that they're using to convey the messages that they want to convey. So what is code mixing? So here's a little clip. So I described this phenomenon a little earlier in the video about kids mixing languages, and that's a prime example. So that video was shot when my son Ronnie was 2.5. For those of you who are following my videos, know that in our family we teach some different languages. I talk to the kids in Mandarin. My wife speaks to them in Japanese. And at the time of filming that video, we were living in Taiwan, and the kids were going to American daycare, so in English. So in that one short video, the kid was singing in English, and then suddenly he splurts out this 4-word sentence. And in the 4 words is, "I want bara taberu." So I want is English, bara is guava in Taiwanese. It's a common language in Taiwan, and taberu, which is Japanese. So Ronnie just pieced together a few words that he knew without knowing really that these were in different languages, categories called languages. He had no concept of that, and conveyed whatever he conveyed in that moment. So there are many parents who are reluctant to teach their kids a second or third language precisely because of this phenomenon of code mixing. Parents are often concerned that this is a form of confusion, and that it would delay language learning of either their mother tongue or the second language or the third language. And they use this as a reason to go for sequential language learning rather than simultaneous. But studies have in fact shown that this is a very short-lived phenomenon, and in fact with Ronnie that you saw a few minutes earlier, he stopped mixing those languages unintentionally within just a few months after that video. So it is a short phase, and I know that my parents told me that I also did the same thing when I was a baby, and I've seen it with my daughter and also with my youngest. So there's nothing to be worried about. and this is definitely just a phase, and your kids will not be confused later on in life. So that was how children do it, and recently I'd learned that this is actually called code mixing, and I had erroneously thought that that was also called code switching. If you Google a little bit or on YouTube, you'll find that there are many videos of kids doing such things, and they also called it code switching. And recently I stumbled upon an article by Rita Rosen, and I'd like to take an opportunity here to shout out to Rita. She runs a blog website called Multilingual Parenting, and she also runs a big Facebook page and Facebook group with about, I think, 7,000 members, myself included. And I would say it's one of my first resources I go to on Facebook. It's a very good resource for laymen, because if you go to the scientific literature, there's lots of information out there, but it's difficult to read for people who are not versed in those fields. So if you're not a linguist by trade, it's a little tough to digest those scientific articles. But if you go to Rita, her website and her groups have members who are experts, academics, and also laymen who have raised the multilingual children. It's a tremendous resource for everybody. So I'll link her website and her Facebook groups in the description below. So in a nutshell, code switching and code mixing. I think the biggest distinction here is intent or intention. Somebody, a grown adult, you doing code switching, or even kids who are 7, 8, or 9, who already know different languages in the categories that these things are called languages, they can switch around intentionally. That's code switching. Whereas unintentional babies who mumble a few words in different languages, that would be called code mixing. So it's a short one. That's it for today. If you learned a thing or two, please give the video a thumbs up and comment below if you have questions, and definitely subscribe and ring that little notification bell so that you can follow our adventures in real time.